seconds. Okay. You know what, it's 5:30. All right. We'll be just to the flag. I'm wearing my tracks, that's why. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. And Tilly, could you conduct a roll call?
Yes. Supervisor Cannon?
Here.
Councilman Fidelli?
Here.
Councilman Midwood?
Here.
Councilwoman Morrison? Here. Councilman Cooper?
Here. Okay, thank you. The purpose of this meeting, as I have relayed in an email, is to approve an application to Hudson River Housing. They are offering a mini grant program for a program related to housing, affordable housing. As we all know, affordable housing is a big issue for us in our town. There isn't enough of it. There isn't enough housing, frankly, in our town. And we, the board, have been asked by residents on multiple occasions to, hang on, I'm just going to turn this thing off, to be more active on housing issues and to take more of a role, particularly in respect with the review of zoning that is going on. And I think that that's a fair critique of us. And so when Hudson River Housing decided to offer this mini grant program, I thought this was really a perfect opportunity for us to do something. And one of the challenges that I feel myself is that I don't have complete knowledge of what we could do and what actually we can't do to help create housing. And I think it's important for us and for the village trustees and for other town boards around us to really know a little bit better what are the tools that we have at our disposal that we can use and what are the things that are just beyond our reach. For instance, getting into building housing is not something we can do. It's not something we can afford to do. Even if we spent the entire town budget on it, we'd create 5 or 6 units of housing and be done. And we'd have no money. So I have spoken with Nan Stolzenberg, who assisted with the comprehensive plan and who is respected by everybody who's in the field, including the Tri-Town Coalition and Edie Greenwood and everybody that worked on the comprehensive plan as being somebody who's very knowledgeable. And John, you had experience.
She was very knowledgeable, professional. She was really good to work with.
And she is willing to help us with this. The project would be an event, a specific event. I don't want something that goes on for forever and ever. Mm-hmm. I'd like something that has a beginning and an end. And so this would culminate in an event which would really be aimed at us, at the board and the village trustees, but obviously open to the public as it would be and should be, to present to us what are the tools we have and to explain them to us in plain English, but using people that are knowledgeable in the field. Nan is willing to do this with us. We talked today and she estimates that the 5 different steps that are listed in the memo I gave you, with her involved in all 5 of those, that we're probably talking 35 to 38 hours of her time. The goal would be to have something maybe during the summer or very early fall, September, There are a number of other events that are going to be going on related to housing. I know that the village is thinking of doing something, and the Tri-Town people are thinking of doing, some public engagement thing where people come and talk about their problem. And all that's great and, good, but I want something that is more specific and more useful to us. I mean, I think we do know.
Can the Irondale Schoolhouse be used in this event?
It could be, although I think it's going to be bigger than the schoolhouse could probably hold.
Okay.
My hope, in fact, would be for it to be bigger than the schoolhouse. So whether it would be something we did at the library annex,
All right.
this might get a fair number of people. So, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that the board can, react to this idea and at the end of our meeting to give your approval for me to submit an application. The application's due tomorrow. I've started it, pretty much reflects what I've written out here. But this is really, as I've said, an opportunity for us to rise to the challenge of, we've been critiqued for being passive, and I would like to be able to say, you know what? We're not passive. We're going to do something I think is really productive and useful. It's very, very related to what this is. And whether we can engage the resources that are needed to produce new housing, or whether we find ways to enable people who have existing housing to rehabilitate it and repurpose it to expand the amount of housing. These tools will be helpful in either respect.
And it says you're going to do it in partnership with the Northeast Community Center?
The application requires that the municipality do this in partnership with a nonprofit.
Oh, good, okay.
And I have spoken with Christine Surgeon at the community center, and she has indicated the community center would be happy to be our partner in this.
Oh, good.
So they would certainly form part of I'd like to put together a little steering committee. I know, Griff, that you've expressed an interest in this thing, and I'm hoping that maybe you could get involved in this.
Sure.
And so Christine would be on that, and, and probably somebody from the village would be. What appeals to me about this is that this is something with a beginning and an end. This isn't a committee that goes on for, the next 30 years.
Are you applying for the full 5,000?
I think I would apply for the full 5,000 or very close to it.
Is it anticipated that 5,000 would cover the full cost?
It is anticipated that it would cover that cost, yes.
But like I said, I'm happy to get involved. I think one of the main things here is to make this, after the application goes through, and should we be approved, to really make it known that this is happening.
Yep.
Use the resources in town who are behind this kind of idea. Again, another thing I'm happy to help with.
Yep. Well, I think it'd be
Maybe a
great.
movie house or something. I know Chelsea and her partner have been vocal about affordable housing in the area.
Yeah.
So I think it really is, the most important part is just comprehending. We need the right people to be explaining to, certainly myself, to get a real, especially being a town that's budget restricted to a certain degree. So yeah, I'm behind this.
Okay, I see that we have a visitor, Sam DeSalle. I've just gone through what we are proposing to make an application to Hudson River Housing for one of these mini grants in conjunction with the community center, as I've described at your last Tri-Town meeting. And I'm just getting the board's approval that we can submit this tomorrow. As you know, tomorrow is the deadline for submitting this.
All in favor?
Good.
For the notice.
It was put on the website. Anyway, any other board member have any comments?
I think we should move forward with it.
Okay, well, in that case, I would entertain a motion to approve town supervisor to submit an application to Hudson River Housing for a mini grant under their Housing for Community mini grant program.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right. Aye. Any nays? Nope. Okay, that motion is approved. While I have you all here, as you know, I sent out an email regarding our COVID regimen, and starting tomorrow, masks will not be required in town hall in conjunction with state and county guidance. People who would like to wear a mask are encouraged to continue to wear a mask, and anybody who feels that they're either by virtue of not being vaccinated or because of some health issue wants to be wearing a mask, absolutely should. But that's what so that tomorrow is March 1. So we're moving into an new era. I think you all saw that the governor announced that the end of school, a change in mask wearing for all schools. So things are moving very quickly. Okay, Sam, you made the trek over here. I saw you on Zoom a minute ago.
I know, I got the message just by you going for this. I figured this was the reason for it.
Yeah, it was just the board has to approve any time I submit an application, which is
I knew
appropriate.
that. I was just interested in the narrative
Yeah,
and and I see you're keeping it wide open, which is good in terms of the cost and what the costs are gonna cover,
yeah.
what the grant's gonna cover, but I look forward to working with it.
Okay, thank you all very much. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay,